Well, hey there, everyone. It's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. Hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. You might be wondering what the heck is going on. It's Dune and Apollo, and we are here at the tiny little dog run outside of Dom and Brandon's apartment building. It is the 19th of October now, I think. Yes. And I'm here dog sitting for Dune for the next 2 days. Dom and Brandon are in New York, I believe. And they were dog sitting for Apollo while I was on the first leg of my trip, and they asked if we could just swap dogs and I could watch Dune while they're gone. So I've been watching him since Friday. Today's Monday. And yeah, so outside of their apartment complex, they have this little dog run. Look at how beautiful it is over there. The leaves changing, and that's a different view of, that's North Table Mountain. We haven't hiked up on that one yet, but we see it quite often. Actually, is that South Table? No, I don't think so. That's North Table. So South Table's on the other side of these buildings. But yeah, I'm just trying to get the boys to do their potties here before we go on our walk, so I don't have to stop. And we've got one potty break. So yeah, we're just out here trying to get life done, and as you can see, Dune is a lot. He won't let Apollo come to me. He has to block him, and it's a lot. We can get into it. So yeah, I'm on the first little respite from my fall trip. So I just got back from Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio, going to Kentucky Kingdom, Kings Island, Strickers Grove, Dollywood, and then my work conference. So I just got back from that, and I'm here this week. And then next Friday, at the time of filming this, the 31st, I leave for Virginia and Maryland, and then I'm back, and I think that'll probably be it for the end of the year. I priced out a California trip for December, but I was like, I don't think so. Oh, second potty break. So yeah, been dealing with Dune. Apollo wants to play, but Dune's, I feel like his aggressive play has gone up, and Apollo starts, I know they're playing. I think Apollo knows that, but I've noticed since I've gotten back, Apollo seems like he's baring his teeth at Dune a little bit more when they play. Like, I don't know. They're still playing, but he's learning Dune's more aggressive style of play, which I'm gonna have to train out of him once this is all done. I don't really like it because Apollo's normally not like that, but he's just responding in the similar energy that Dune has, which is not my favorite. But I kind of just have to roll with it until they get back, and then I'll have to work with Apollo to get him to be more relaxed. Luckily, we've gone to the off-leash dog park. We went on yesterday, right? No, we went on, did we go? Yeah, on Sunday. Yesterday we went to the off-leash dog park in the morning, and Apollo wasn't acting like that with other dogs, so it's really just kind of how he plays with Dune, but I don't want that to become a habit for him. So, okay, let's go, boys. Don't get me wrong, I love Dune with all my heart. He's just untrained, aren't you? Yeah, you're just untrained. And so it's difficult caring for him, which is why I'm here at their apartment. So the original plan was for me to take Dune to my house. I had just gotten home from my trip. I literally came from the airport and picked them both up immediately and went to my house. So got to my house. I was there for about an hour, took them for a walk, and then I had agreed to go to drag bingo with Matt and Ben. So I was like, okay, I'm leaving you guys here. And Dune has never met Theo before. But from what I understood, it wasn't going to be an issue. Well, I get a text from Maddie while I'm at drag bingo, and she's like, I don't think it's appropriate for Dune to be here. He is going after Theo and like trying to bite at him and growling at him and chasing him around the house. So I have Theo locked in our bedroom. I brought his food and water and litter box up there. So it's fine for this week while you have him, but we can't have him here anymore. And I was like, oh geez, because you know how I am and not wanting to ruffle any feathers or be an inconvenience, because I just don't want to get asked to leave, essentially. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll be home after bingo and I will figure something out. So I immediately started looking for Airbnbs where I could take the dogs until Wednesday. But I ended up reaching out to Dom because they didn't leave until super early the next morning. I was like, hey, things are not working out with Dune. He is trying to attack Theo, and I can't have him in my house with Theo there. And so we had to do this elaborate exchange of keys where they left their key hidden here at the apartment complex. And so I had to come here. Oh, another potty break. Come on, boys. So I had to get the key and stay here instead. But that was not the plan. So their apartment wasn't really ready for that. And I hadn't even unpacked or anything. So I just came here super early Saturday morning with my luggage still in the trunk and just had to figure it out. And their place isn't tiny, but it is small for two dogs. And now in retrospect, I kind of feel bad letting them watch Apollo because he takes up so much space. But they're also doing work on the patios, the balconies here at the apartment complex. So all of their patio furniture and everything that was outside has to be inside while they're working on it. So like there's not much living space. So it's pretty tight quarters. It's a little cramped and uncomfy. I don't really have any place to set up for work. And so it's just not ideal. It's not ideal. And it would have been fine if Dune was not aggressive and kind of vicious towards Theo. So that was tough. And so yesterday, after I took them for the long off-leash session, I brought them back here, left them both here, went back to my house and scrambled and did as much laundry as I could. And in fact, I have to go back tonight and finish up as much laundry as I could. And Maddie's also having guests over this Thursday. So my plan was to tidy the house over the next few days, get the house tidied up. But I had to like scramble while I was doing that and laundry yesterday while the boys were here. And then I'm also trying to work on my videos for Coaster Pursuit. So it was just a very hectic, crazy Sunday. Because I'm trying to, oh my gosh, Apollo, come on. I'm trying to like go back and forth between the two locations so I can feed the boys and walk the boys while also trying to get everything done at my place. It was just not how it was supposed to go. And so, yeah. And Apollo likes to stop and sniff and make me pull him forward. Dune is the opposite, where when he gets a whiff of something, he pulls you forward so hard. Like my arms a lot of times just straight out, just trying to like brace. And if he sees another dog or something, he likes to lunge for them. Like he doesn't have any training, unfortunately. And it makes it really difficult because they're on the 3rd floor of this apartment building. So I have to go inside, get in the elevator, and there's been several occasions where that elevator door opens and there's somebody there with their dog in the elevator or on the other side, and trying to get Dune to stop pulling and lunging for the dog. He's not trying to attack them. He's just like has no concept of like, hey, hold on. Whereas Apollo is just kind of standing there like, what do we do? And so I'm like having to apologize, and he gets all tangled up, and he's just a lot. He needs a lot, and he needs training. And I think I've said that before when I've dog sat for him, that he needs training. And I've tried on a couple occasions when I've dog sat to like get him to not pull so hard. And even last night we went on our nighttime walk. I was making him stay when he was pulling and walking slow forward. And I have found, and maybe I'll switch him to this, while we're walking, if I put the leash on his collar instead of his harness, it's more uncomfortable for him to pull when it's around his neck than when it's around his body. And so it's easier to walk him like that. And I know it's uncomfy for him, but he's never learned to not pull as hard as he can, as he's able to at all times. Here, we're actually gonna switch him right now, because like he's just always pulling. Hey, stay right here. You're getting switched to the collar. I know it doesn't feel good, but you gotta learn. You can't just yank on me constantly. I'd rather pull him along than him yanking me forward. And he's a strong boy, and he pulls so hard. Come on. So yeah, I mean, all of that's to say, I love him a lot, and it is very nice having having Dom and Brandon as an option to watch Apollo when needed. And I love watching other dogs, but he's the most difficult one. When we're home and he's relaxing, he's the snuggliest little cutie ever. He's very sweet, and he's sweet to other humans. But the fact that he's highly aggressive towards cats, and I have a cat at my house, it makes it hard. I'm always going to have to stay at their place if I'm going to dog sit. Or just leave him home while I go work from my house. That's the other thing, is I don't really have any place to work from home at their place. So tomorrow is a work from home day. I'm going to have to leave the boys at their house so I can go work at my house. So it makes it really difficult. And just the training thing is kind of tough too. So it's mutually beneficial, but I don't know if I'm going to be watching him. Certainly not, at least not until I move to my new place, because then there won't be a cat. I mean, Alex and MJ have a cat, but the cat lives in their house and not in the apartment. So last time we went this way, and we had to do a big long loop around the hospital. Let's see what's this way. I haven't gone this way. So they call this the green belt. There's South Table. That's where we hike usually. So they call this the green belt. It goes all the way into Golden. We're about, I'd say, a 10-minute drive to my house. Not that far. Come on. So, yeah, they call this the green belt, and it basically runs along the highway and the creek all the way into Golden. You'll see a lot of cyclists out here and stuff. But yeah, so it's just been a very hectic few days, kind of living out of two places at once and trying to manage the dogs and keep them happy and comfortable while also needing to go to work or go somewhere else to get stuff or go back to my house to keep life going as far as like recouping from a 9-day trip. Like all of my toiletries and stuff, which is fine because I'm dog sitting, but I'm still working out of like my travel size, some of my travel size stuff in my Ziploc bags full of skincare and everything. And yeah, still kind of living out of my suitcase. But I did get some laundry done. But we should be good to go Wednesday when they come back for Dune. But then Thursday, Maddie has friends coming into town. I think there's 3 or 4 of them that are going to be staying at our house. And so that's going to be weird, and I'm hoping that they're fine having Apollo around. And then the landlord is making some moves to sell the house. So I don't know if I told you guys that, but he plans on selling the house, so Maddie and Joe are going to have to move as well. But he's moving fast, and so he's actually going to be there on Thursday as well for the weekend with a few helpers to clear out a bunch of stuff that he has at the house. Because like a lot of the furniture some of the furniture in the house is his. Like a lot of the stuff is his. He's got a 2-car garage there packed full of stuff, a whole basement full of stuff. Boys, Dune, leave him alone. Let's just walk. You can freak out on him later. A 2-car garage full of stuff, a basement full of stuff, so he's bringing a roll-off dumpster, a big old dumpster, and he's coming over starting Thursday through Sunday with some people to start clearing out his stuff from the house. So we're going to have 4 of Maddie's friends, plus the landlord and helpers coming in and out of the house. So I'm like, maybe I will, you know what, I think I am just going to do it. I was like, maybe I will just get an Airbnb for the weekend, like maybe up in the mountains or something, because I don't have to work on Friday, and just get out. I just don't want to deal with it. And the other thing that's kind of awkward is we're not supposed to have cats in that house. I think it's okay for me saying this. No one tell my landlord. Well, by the time this goes up, that should already have been gone and done. But we're not supposed to have cats in the house. So Maddie's been having to like hide Theo away when the landlord comes over. And so she's kind of freaking out because the landlord's going to be there for 4 days, in and out. So she's going to have to figure out some way to hide Theo away, especially if they're leaving the doors open and stuff. So it's just like there's just a lot of stress in my house right now, and the whole Dune situation didn't help, and the fact that the landlord sprung this clear out thing on us. He told us on Friday, so he gave us 6 days notice that he's going to be in and out of the house for 4 days, and it just also lines up with Maddie's friends staying from out of town. So the house is just going to be a bit chaotic. So yeah, I think what I'll do is go ahead and, oh, that was weird. This whole family just turned around and started coming back my way. Let's wait. Stay here, boys. So yeah, the house is just going to be in a bit of chaos. So I think what I'll do when I get home tonight is find an Airbnb to book Thursday night check-in, because I'm in office Thursday night check-in, returning Sunday. Yeah, it's probably not going to be cheap, short notice, but I think it'll be for the best. Just, I don't know. I don't want the stress of it all to rub off on me and put me in any kind of mood. Like, let me chart my own path for the weekend. Oh, they wanted to say hi to the train. I see. I was like, why did they double back so quickly? So yeah, that's what's going on. So I don't think I'll actually be home for real and settled until after Sunday, and then I'm home then I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of normal life with just Apollo back in my own place, and then I'm gone again for a few days. So it's just, yeah, I knew it was gonna be a hectic October for sure, but the fact that Dune wasn't able to play well at my house and the landlord coming, and it's just all been a little hectic. So, but I think getting out of the house during that time will just make things easier for everybody. So Maddie can have her friends over. We're not on top of each other. They have free reign of the bathroom and stuff. The landlord can do whatever he needs to do without Apollo sniffing around and getting in their way. So I think that's what'll probably make the most sense. But yeah, let's talk about the trip. I have a trip vlog that should be up by the time you see this, if editing Anthony is keeping up with it. It's definitely taken quite some time to get everything edited for the other channel. I have 2 more videos that I need to do for the other channel, then I can get the one for single and placing up or put together. And essentially what I did is like, hey guys, I'm at the Airbnb. Hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I will have brought you guys along on my little jaunt to Mammoth Cave National Park as well. And then I'll be including the little, the second day at Dollywood that I did with Matt, just so you guys can see him and do that stuff. So it's not really roller coaster focused, it's just kind of fun with a friend. And then I also did a haunted hayride with him as well, and his ex-boyfriend, but they're still friends, Luke. And so Luke's there too. So that's gonna be the last one, because it's all mixed up across all the whole week. So it'll take some time, but that should go up before this does. And I have 2 vlogs that are currently processing at Dom and Brandon's for single and placing that should have already gone up as well. So yeah, lots of editing and stuff, but I'd like to get it all done before I leave for this next leg, the final leg. But yeah, I sat down and priced out a California trip for the first weekend, I think, of December. Come on, boys. Priced out a whole California trip for the first weekend of December. I think it was the 6th or the 5th through the 9th, I think, or the 4th through the 9th. And I was like, yeah, I can swing this. I can swing this December trip, but will it be better to visit those California parks when the weather's warmer, when the park is in full summer, season, I'll probably have more chance of more rides being open or less of a risk of having seasonal closures. And this money, it's a good chunk of change, could go towards my bigger trips that I'm anticipating are gonna happen next year. So it's like, let me take this $1,500 and sock that away for Saudi Arabia and or Europe, because Europe's going to be a ton of money. the Saudi Arabia trip's probably not going to be, it's going to be expensive as well. So I was like, you know what? I can do the California parks any old time. Let me save this for these bigger experiences for 2026. Come on, boys, let's go. So that's what I'm going to do. So after this last trip, the leg of the fall trip, that'll be it for the year. Then we can focus on single and placing stuff. And that'll put me in a good place to just chill and work on my Muka. I haven't diamond painted since I left, so I'm now on day 11 of no diamond painting. Thought I was going to be able to get back to it when I got home, but I had to flee my house because of Dune, and there's no space to do it at Dom and Brandon's, so probably won't get to diamond paint again until maybe if I bring one with me to the Airbnb. I was also, maybe I can do this, because I was thinking, you know what I need to do is maybe film my Christmas premiere videos. Hopefully I get asked to do it again this year. But I was like, I want to rent a cabin again like I did 2 years ago, and do like a whip and chat. Maybe that's my another excuse to rent a place for this weekend, is I can batch film like 3 whip and chats and just be like, hey, Crashly, I have three of them, so you let me know how many you need this year. Maybe I'll message her and let her know that I'm planning on doing that. She's gonna be like, Jesus, Anthony, you're too far ahead of the game. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. Apollo, don't let me forget when we get back to the house to book that. Somewhere cute, okay? Somewhere cute and fun. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, so 3 nights. Okay, yeah, I can swing that. We'll just pick something up in the mountains. Yeah. So let's go back to the trip. So hopefully you've seen that vlog where I'm just talking about everything, but the trip was fantastic overall. It was, I liked the structure. I liked having my structure together, kind of like I did for Jersey. And I feel like this one went even better because I knew, all my drive time is well mapped out, and I didn't have to do multiple, well, I did kind of, but I wasn't like scrambling at all. And so I think one thing I learned is if it's a bigger park, to have 2 days at the park is kind of ideal for me in a perfect world if it's a bigger park. That gives me a full day to run around and get all the roller coasters in, and then a second day to come back through more casually and not necessarily worry about rides too much, but focus on the filming and getting the shots and stuff. So that's kind of what works best for me, is to have 2 passes through the parks. If it's bigger, I say anything with more than like 10 roller coasters would probably warrant 2 days or more, depending, or if it's like really well themed or something like that. But kind of gauge based off of size and scale of the park how much time I'll need, because I definitely needed the 2 days at Kings Island, and it gives me the flexibility on that second day to leave early if I need to. If I've got what I've needed, and I'm all set, then I can go. And I'm not worried on that one day about like cramming, because I definitely, oh, no, someone just left a bunch of cookies on the ground. No. So we'll start from the beginning. So I got to Kings Island, landed in Nashville, got to Mammoth Caves. They were partially closed or mostly closed due to the government shutdown. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but I did get to see some stuff. And then went to Kentucky Kingdom, and I got there for their park opening, which was great timing. And that was a beautiful little park. And I only had the evening there. I think it was 5 to 10 or something like that. And I got everything that I wanted to get done and then some. So that was like the perfect size for like a one day or a half day. And they had 5 roller coasters, including 2 kids ones. So when the park is that small, I can get a half day and be just fine. And then I drove up to Cincinnati, and then the next morning had a full day at Kings Island, 11 a.m. until midnight. And even though that sounds like a ton of time, I still felt a little slammed getting everything done, because we had, was it 13 potential roller coasters? So way more. And it's a much bigger park. There's a lot more to do. And they had their full haunt stuff, all their haunted stuff. So I was just all over the place all day, and circling back around, and it was just a lot. So by the end of that first day, I was like, oh, I didn't get all the shots that I wanted to get, so I'm glad that I had that second day. So then I ended up, because the next day, Sunday, no, let's not. The next day, Sunday, I had Stricker's Grove to visit, which only has 2 roller coasters. It's a small little family park, itty bitty. So I knew that was only going to take a few hours to get done, but they didn't open till noon, and I had half an hour early entry at Kings Island. So I went back to Kings Island in the morning, got some morning shots, rode a couple roller coasters, and then left to Stricker's Grove and filmed there. And I was actually surprised by how much I loved that little park. Hey, boys, no. Hey, no. We can go back to the dog park and play, but we're not doing it right now. I'm not in the mood to get all tangled up and yanked around. Let's see. Okay, we've got time. So yeah, it was just this beautiful park, and the owners, I think it was Pam and Debbie, I think were the 2 owners' names. Pam and Debbie Stricker, so family-owned park. They were there working. Older ladies, very sweet people. She's like, yeah, you can film whatever you want. And I was like, hey, is it okay? Because they have like the park and the fence, like the boundaries, but then there was this big grassy area kind of all around the park. It's literally out in fields, like in a farm. And I was like, is it okay if I walk outside of the fence where the park is and use my little drone to take some shots? And she's like, yeah, sure, as long as you don't go above where people are, I am fine with that. And I was like, oh, wow. So it was just such an amazing experience in terms of filming, to get to film on ride, to get to do drone shots and like kind of practice. So I was out there quite a bit longer than I thought I was going to be. I think I said to myself, oh, I'll be there for like two hours, maybe 3. I was there closer to like 4, just getting all the shots. Hey, we're not doing that. Wait till we get back to the dog park and you can attack each other. So it was just so cool. and they had like free food for the customer appreciation days. So she's like, you better go get some cotton candy, and you better wait until we start grilling up burgers and stuff, and go get yourself a hot dog and a burger, and we've got ice cream and snow cones. So they're like giving me all this, they're giving everybody free food, but she's like, they're like pushing free food on me. And then I was like, do you guys have any t-shirts? And she's like, oh, we made some t-shirts for our 100th year anniversary last year. So this was their 101st season in operation. She's like, I don't think we have any more. Let me go upstairs. So she goes upstairs into the office and comes back, and she's like, I have one more in a 2X and one in a 3X. I was like, give me the 2X, I'll wash it in some hot water and shrink it down. And she's like, oh, okay. So she gave me a shirt. It was just like a totally different vibe than like the big crowds and the corporate setup. Not that I have an issue with that, but just the small family run park. They do like events for like 4-H and the Elks, and like I saw some of their signs, like they do events for the schools and stuff. It's just very small town kind of vibes. So I don't know, it was kind of like my favorite experience of the trip in terms of the people and the vibes. I was just like, this is so cute. Like, there are 2 roller coasters, are these small wooden roller coasters, nothing record breaking or crazy, but I just loved it there. And like, people brought coolers and they're out there grilling and setting up little picnics, and it was just very classic park vibes, you know, come and just set up shop with the family and hang out. So it was great. So I did that, and then went back to Kings Island for my second day, which at that point was like a half day. And I spent maybe another 3+ hours, can't quite remember. But I left way earlier than I thought, because I was just walking around getting shots of everything and not really worrying about the roller coasters. And then I did the haunted house experience, which was The Conjuring, which was, I don't have anything to compare it to, because I've never been to like the big like Universal horror nights or anything like that. It was cheesy. It was well done. There was like good scene set up and like that kind of thing. But I was by no means scared at any point. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is kind of silly. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not easily spooked by haunted attractions, but I've yet to go to a haunted attraction where I'm like genuinely terrified or freaked out. I'm also a pretty observant person about my surroundings, so I can always see when they're coming. So yeah, they're actually we'll keep talking. There was one part during the trip that I did get spooked. So it was a little cheesy, but I liked the set dressing and stuff was good. And then went to Pigeon Forge Sunday night and got in earlier than I thought, which was like 1 a.m., maybe midnight or 1 a.m., which was way earlier than I thought. And then had my first day at Dollywood by myself. Fantastic, love that park. Gorgeous park, beautiful. Their fall setup was stunning. Dolly puts up some good decor. So I had my first day there, went home and went to bed. And then the next day, Matt met me in the morning, and that's what you'll see on the video. And then we left early again from the park because again, I had pretty much gotten everything that I needed to get done. So we left early and I got to enjoy the sunset driving out of the Smokies. Beautiful. And made it into Nashville for my 2-day conference. And that went really well too. It was the focus of the conference this year, like the hot topic was AI, which makes sense. It's what we're all talking about these days, but how it impacts recruitment and hiring. And so it got a little stale by the second day, because it was like, even though people would be talking about like attracting a diverse candidate pool, it would start to lean towards AI still. Like, I don't know, everything had AI built into it, like as a talking point. So I was hoping that some of the speakers would be brave to just talk about something else, but that was kind of what was trending. So it did get a little stagnant on the second day of just more AI talk, but overall it was still really good. It's the best work conference that I've ever been to in my career. So I'll keep going. Next year I won't be able to go because I'll be in Europe. So it'll have to be 2027. Okay, rather than you pulling me towards the dogs, I'm just gonna have you stop. Yeah, you're just gonna stop and sit. Stay. Okay, let's go. So yeah, it was really good. I love it. It's a 2-day conference. Each of the speakers gets a half hour, so they have a ton of speakers, and there's different areas that different speakers are in at the same time. So you have your choice between like 3 or 4 different speakers, and they get half an hour. So rather than sitting in a stuffy conference hall for 2 hours with a single speaker, you really do get to bounce around literally every half hour, which is kind of cool. So it was nice. It was nice. And then Wednesday night, the night after the first conference, I went and did Singo with Matt and his friend group. So it's like they play a clip of a song and you have to know the song name. And then that song title is on your bingo card, and that's how you play bingo, is with songs. So that was a lot of fun. And then went back to my hotel room, then had my second day of the conference. And then when that was done, because it ended early, I worked on one of my Coaster Pursuit videos, editing, got that done, took a little nap, and then we went to a haunted hayride out in the woods in like super northern Nashville, not in the city, it was just out there. So we went and did that. Dune, over here. So we went and did that, and while that was kind of cheesy too, it was pricey for what it was. They put you on this tractor trailer that's got a bunch of hay down, and you just sit there while the tractor pulls you around. And then there's like different scenes that are meant to spook you. And it was more fun watching some of the other people get scared, but I saw it all coming and none of it was that particularly scary, except for one person. Because like we're all facing in towards each other, so our backs are facing the woods, and there was just this one person that was in the pitch black, and I didn't even see them coming, and no one warned me, and they walked up behind us and like screamed really loud, and that got me. But pretty much everything else I saw coming. But they had these really cool ladies on these like poles. It almost looked like they were on just like a big pole, like a flexible pole, and they were up at the top of it, maybe like 10, 15 feet in the air. And then they had these big flowy dresses and had these blue lights on them. And so they're just like swaying back and forth. And when they'd sway down towards the trailer, they'd scream and like wave their arms. They kind of looked like kind of floating apparitions. That was really well done and really cool. And then they had another part where you pull up and they've got these 2 big Tesla coils that shoot out the electricity. And then they had someone in like a metal suit or something. And like it was playing music, you know, you can change the tone of the electrical current, playing music, and they were like doing this whole thing. So there's like a couple areas that weren't necessarily spook or scary. They were just like cool performances. So I appreciated it for that. Like there was some artistry there that I was not expecting, and some cool stuff that was not haunted necessarily, but it was just well done. So it wasn't scary. I thought it was gonna be like really terrifying. No, it was a little cheesy. But it was like $30-something a person, plus $20 for parking. So I'm like, okay, we spent $110 to come out here. And they're like, oh, it's a 30 to 40 minute attraction. It was like 18 minutes. Like they got us in and out. So, and it was kind of quiet too. So I think if there had been more people there, I don't know. Maybe it was like kind of the skeleton crew. No Halloween pun intended. But I just felt like there could have been a lot more scare actors. Like we'd go through these long areas of driving between scenes, and it was just nothing. There was just like nobody there. You're just kind of driving through the dark, and then you pull up to the next scene, you stop. They try to scare you sometimes, other times you just watch a little show, and then you move on to the next one. But there's like a couple minutes of just the tractor kind of meandering around with nothing really happening. I'm like, maybe if we came on like a super busy weekend or something, maybe they've got their full crew here and there'd be a lot more spooks and scares, but there really wasn't in between the shows. So I don't know, but it was just a little out in the woods random thing in Nashville, and I had a good time. So we did that, and then that put us to Thursday night. We went to one of the same bar that did Singo. It's kind of their go-to watering hole, I guess, and hung out for a little bit. Then I went back to the hotel and flew out the next morning, or I guess afternoon, and came back. So that was kind of the full trip. And now we're here, just hanging out with the boys. Look at how pretty everything is. Wow. Wow. And yeah, hanging out with the boys. I've got 2 more days. And then, yeah, me and Apollo will just disappear up into the mountains for a few days and just get away from the chaos. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm back out again next week at the time of filming this. Back out again for the last leg. And so we'll touch on that briefly. I don't know how much memory card space I have left on this card, but so the original plan, it's still the plan, but I'll tell you about my bouncing around of ideas. So the plan is to leave October 31st, Friday, and drive. Oh, I'm sorry, just to jump in. On Saturday, I went to a show. The band is called the 5 a.m. Trio, and it's an EDM, kind of dubstep, kind of electronic band, but they also incorporate kind of some jazz and jam band stuff. So they have like live guitar and drums and keyboard and vocals with the beats, and it was really cool. It's one of my friend MJ. It's one of her close friends who I've met a number of times. She was at the wedding in Mexico, he's in the band. He's the guitar player, and so we went and saw them. Even though I was exhausted just from traveling and not being able to settle at my own place, but I was like, let me go, and it was so much fun. If I can remember to insert a couple clips, I will. It was great. You ready? Come here. This side. This side. Over here. Good boy. It's harder to do on metal, huh? It's slippery. Hey, Dune, that didn't give you permission to attack. Come on. So anyway, that was a ton of fun. I'll insert some clips if I can remember. So anyway, the plan on Halloween on Friday is I leave early in the morning and I get to the Ronald Reagan whatever airport outside of DC and then immediately drive to Virginia to Doswell, which is a couple hours or an hour or so outside of Richmond, for King's Dominion. And so my plan was to be there for 2 days, and it still is now. Friday, which is a partial day, they're open from like 6 to midnight, I think, or something like that. And then the next day they're open from 11 to midnight on November 1st on a Saturday. So I was gonna do 2 full days, 2 days there, and then go up to Bowie, Maryland for Six Flags America because that's their closing day. Well, one of the rides at King's Dominion that I really want to go on is called Pantherian, and it used to be called Intimidator 305. It was it was inspired by Dale Earnhardt, 305 feet tall. It's supposed to be one of the most intense roller coasters ever made. And so I've been really wanting to go on that roller coaster. Well, they closed it for a seasonal closure, even though it had already been closed for a good part of the season while it was re-themed to Pantherian. It's kind of a panther theme.
Hey there, everyone. It is Editing Anthony. Just jumping in to say that at the time of editing this, which is Wednesday before my trip, Pantherian has reopened. So it was more of kind of a rumor, I guess, or some misinformation that it was closed for the rest of the season. But from what I understand, the operation is still intermittent. So keep your fingers crossed that I actually get to ride this amazing coaster in 2 days at the time of recording this. When I go. So yeah, send some good juju my way that I get to experience Pantherian. Okay, let's get back to it. Bye.
Well, I don't know what's going on with it. There's rumors that it may never open again. I don't know. It's been a problematic ride since it was built. It's just very intense and it's too much for most people. So it also was supposed to be like a headlining ride that's incredibly popular, and it actually rarely has much of a line because it's just too much, but I want to go on it. But it's closed for the rest of the season. It was open for like a few months and now they've closed it again. So since that kind of major ride at the park was closed, or got announced that it was going to close for the season, I was on Instagram with the coaster crews, coaster people, and they were like, yeah, I mean, you can do 2 days at King's Dominion if you want to, but since that ride is closed and most people will want to go and ride that over and over again if they can handle it, it might just be a single day park, and you might want to go to Busch Gardens Williamsburg for one of those days instead. So I set that up. Well, I was going to buy the tickets and the pass and everything, because that's not part of the Six Flags. I'm just going in circles now. Six Flags season pass I have. So I went to go pull that up, and it was going to be like $200 something between the skip the line and the food and the ticket and the parking, not to mention any souvenirs that I wanted to get. I was like, oh, geez, that's quite a bit just to throw it on for a day, and it's not even one of their full days. They're open from like 2 to 10. Because I'd go on that Friday. So I was thinking about it, and I'm like, that park also has like 13 something roller coasters. I'm like, I'm gonna be stressing myself out if I try to get there and do all of that in one day, and that's in Williamsburg, Virginia, then drive back to King's Dominion and start and do a whole nother park the next day. And I could do it. I absolutely could do it. And I've done similar things like when I went to Jersey in the past where it was one day at the parks, And so I can do it, but I know I'm just gonna burn myself out. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick with my original plan. Sure, the big, huge roller coaster is gonna be closed, but they have a lot of other fun stuff. I can do some of the haunted attractions maybe that first day. And I was like, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Rather than try to cram that, is I'm gonna go and take the long way around into Virginia and go along the river. And I'm gonna do a little hike, and I'm gonna go see George Washington's birthplace. I'm gonna do some of the regular touristy stuff. I'm gonna get myself a little seafood, late lunch, and then I'll just do the evening at the park on Friday, rest up, have a full day Saturday. So that's what I'm gonna do. I already mapped out where I'm gonna drive, and there's a state park close to George Washington's birthplace that looks really cute, and I found a little seafood restaurant right on the water. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just have a normal day, and then that'll give me some stuff to film for this leg of the trip for you guys. So that'll give me some content to share here. So we're gonna go do a little Chesapeake hangout. And maybe by the time this goes up, I'll currently be there. So we'll see. I have everything spaced out. I still need to film my kickoff video for Mookamania. But yeah, so. And then I go to Maryland for Six Flags America on Sunday the 2nd. They close at 6. I'm trying to get a group together to go hang out after the park closes. And then I'm back Monday. And then I'm back to work that Tuesday. And then I do have some vacation time off that I've booked in December, but I'm gonna use that time just to relax and regroup and chill. No more trips for the rest of the year. And then, I will be doing my D-stash. It's confirmed. It is on, and hopefully I'll have posted an announcement video and some stuff in the community tab. And make sure to share that once you see the announcement for the D-stash or community posts on Instagram and stuff, please share them around so we get a good turnout. But it will be Friday, November 7th. Friday, November 7th, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time will be the first 30, maybe 30 plus kits. And then Sunday, November 9th, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for the other half. So right now I have 60 kits on my D-stash list. I will be sharing the link to the Google Doc so you can see what all's being D-stashed and in what order. And it'll be 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for both days. Figured we'll do Friday, then take a break so I can regroup and start organizing orders and stuff from the first day. And then Sunday will be the second one. And I did 2 p.m. that way I could do it after Mia and Angel go live. So 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Friday the 7th and Sunday the 9th. Major D-stash. Be there. And it's auction style. So, and starting bids will be on the Google Doc too, so you'll know what the starting bids are as well. So, yeah. All right, well, we're coming back up towards the apartment complex. I'm gonna let them run around in the dog park a little bit more so they can keep wrestling. I'm gonna get some dinner, relax, and maybe keep editing videos. So we will see you next time. Love you guys. Bye. Bye.